Hello, and welcome back to Violet Memoir. Sorry, it's been a hot minute since I've uploaded this, hasn't it? I do apologize. I apologize. It's been a wacky time. We're back. Hopefully, we're doing it. I'm recording again. It's fine. Okay, what were we doing? We got separated from Lily. We're in Nightmare Dreamland. That's fun. And we're looking for Oscar, right? That was his name, right? God, I hope so. You're lucky I remembered Lily's name. You're really lucky. Anyway, taking a step away from the bars, I look at the hallway in front of me. It's short with a dip in the ground, leading to some kind of staircase. If this is heading to a lower floor, then it must be more likely to lead to an exit, right? I can't just leave if the others might still be in here. Who knows how far the nearest phone might be. I don't even know the address to call for help either. Taking a deep breath, I walk deeper into the hallway. It already feels different from all the other hallways. There's no doors. What? There's a door right there? Okay, that's fine. There's no door at all, and after a couple steps, my suspicions are confirmed when I see the floor leading down into a bundle of stairs. As soon as I take my first step down, there's a noticeable shift in the temperature. It's significantly colder here than any of the places we visited earlier. Suddenly, I step into a patch of cold wetness, and I let out a blood-curdling scream. I frantically rush back, and nearly tripping on the step, only to see it's just a puddle on a step. Wait. It's not just one. There's numerous puddles across the entire stairs. It looks like it's more, prominent near the bottom. Did a spill happen here, or maybe a leak happened? I carefully maneuver my way down the stairs, making sure to dodge any puddles in my way. Even in the areas where there isn't water, the lino a floor is still moist, like it's covered in condensation. Oh, here, the game audio looks a little bit low. I'll turn that up just a little bit. There we go. Things get even more confusing as I take the final step to the next floor, only to have my foot fully submerged in water. Oh, okay. This time it isn't a puddle, but the entire floor looks like it's flooded. It's not too deep, only about an inch, but it doesn't look like it's going to go away anytime soon. Standing with both my feet in the water, the feeling of the cold water against my pads sends a shiver throughout my body. I'm forced to waddle through the water, trying not to think about what I could be stepping on. The water is too dark to even see through it. Even my white fur is barely visible in the dim light. I came across a door, but when I entered, there's only a desk with nothing substantial in it, but the same light flooding as the as the rest of the floor. Oh, excuse me. Oh, looks like I won't find anything interesting. Huh? Okay. The sound of splashing footsteps in the distance echo through the hallway, and I become paralyzed, a billion thoughts running through my head. Any doubts and fears are instantly blown away as soon as I hear that familiar booming voice. Hey, anyone out there? Hello? Come on, man. I know someone's gotta be there. Oscar's voice is a wave of relief that brings a smile to my face. Even without trying, he's able to lift my mood up. Darting out of the room, I immediately slip on the still very wet floor, but I'm caught by something strong wrapping around my waist. Whoa there! He's right next to me now, using one arm to hold me up with no effort at all. He doesn't even look like he's straining any muscle at all. I'm light, but it's still impressive. Just dropping in, are we? Oscar! Right now isn't the time for modesty, and I throw my arms around him in a hug. I've experienced too much emotional whiplash in this place to not seek any comfort I could find. Hey, little dude. You doing okay? Without a second of hesitation, he returns the hug, and I'm surrounded by his huge arms. His warmth envelops me in an instant, and I get lost in the comfort for what little time I can before having to return to reality. After a couple of seconds, Oscar pulls me away, and his smile is soft. His beautiful, shimmering blue eyes are filled with concern. Even he's taking the situation seriously.
You didn't answer my question.
Huh? Oh, sorry. What was it again?
I asked how you're doing, man. You look a little messed up.
Sorry, I just woke up in this strange place, and everything here doesn't make sense. I met up with Lily, but we got split off, and I think I've been panicking a little. I'm so glad to have found someone again. He flashes me that signature grin and leans down to bump his shoulder against my own, waggling his eyes in a teasing expression of affection.
Well, you got paired with the best one, too.
That causes a giggle to slip out of me, and the way his face just lights up as if making me laugh has solved all of our problems, causes my ears to burn.
There we go. That's why I'm the greatest.
As much as I want to indulge in his fun theatrics, the situation is too serious to let myself get too distracted. Does your phone work? Lily's and mine won't turn on.
Yeah, man. I didn't bring my phone. Wanted to go for a swim after we finished up, so I didn't bring mine.
Really? That's the excuse we're going with? You just didn't bring it? There are lockers. Just throw your phone in your locker. Oh my god. It wouldn't turn on anyway. I get it, but that's such a reason. That's such a reason, guys. My expression must show just how flabbergasted I felt because he just widens his grin further, but I'm not letting him escape this because he's got a handsome face. But you were on your phone at the library. You were looking stuff up.
Actually, that was Grumpy's phone. He wanted me to find out what about the hunky badger, so he gave me his phone. He didn't have any fun pics or anything. Disappointing.
How are you so relaxed about this?
Listen, man. I'm not dumb.
Huh? Okay.
But there's no point stressing out. Plus, this ain't the first time I've woken up somewhere weird with no memory of the night before. It's called college.
Amazing. We okay?
We probably just got wasted last night and couldn't remember it.
I think I'd remember something like this. He crouches down and nudges my shoulder with his elbow, even dwarfing the size of my shoulder compared to me. His proportions are huge.
Not if you get wasted enough. You get trashed enough and you can end up here, no problem.
This is serious. We don't even know where we are. He lets out a light chuckle and takes a step over to pull me against him, pressing my face against the side of his chest. His expression is lacking any of that sultriness. Instead, his smile is soft and his eyes are gentle.
Hey man, I know this is serious. I'm just trying to lighten the mood. I didn't mean to upset you. I'll get us out of here. You got me, man. So don't lose your head.
Right, yeah. Don't panic. That'll just make it worse.
There we go. Knew you could do it, man.
He gives me a light shove with his tail, which for someone with Oscar's strength is still strong, and he heads back the way he came. Where are you going?
I'm gonna go find a way out of here. If you come from that way, I doubt there's anything over there. So, let's head this way instead.
Did you wake up here?
Yeah, just in that room. I just thought I took a nap in that little pool behind the frat. Turns out I was lying on the floor of this place and it's flooding. Weird shit, man.
He points towards an open door a couple feet away from us. The door looks much more elegant than the others I've seen in this place so far. Like an old fancy door, it's just out of place in this hospital.
Not too much of a stress, though. If this place truly filled up, I could hold my breath for about 8 minutes. I'd be fine.
Leading me into the room, I can see it's a mostly empty checkup room. It's a mostly empty checkup room. There's just a simple desk with 2 chairs and an examination bed. What does catch my interest is the little desk has personal items on top of it, unlike every other barren desk I've seen so far. There's pens, other utensils, and a framed photo. The frame contains an image of a large cruise ship. Okay. It's a diagonal frontal shot. Diagonal frontal shot, okay. But its length is visible despite the angle. The red sunset sky and rows of lights on the cruiser make it look majestic.
That's the SS. Mary Annetta.
Is that how you pronounce that? Probably not.
Real popular cruise ship. Super expensive.
Have you been on it?
When I was in high school, yeah. I'm not sure if my parents saved up or if we won something.
Was it nice?
Yeah, the boat was insane. Felt closer to a palace than a ship. The trip was awful, though.
Bad weather?
Something like that.
That's the end of that conversation. In a weird moment, almost as surreal as the entire situation, Oscar's the one to end a conversation. It must have been a really bad time. Where are we going? Okay. Looking around the rest of the room, it doesn't look like there's much else in the room. In the room? Yes, okay. The desk had a few books with notes, but nothing that could help us discover where exactly we were. In fact, all of the notes feel childish, like they were written by someone young. The repeated doodles in the columns gave even more proof towards this. Most of the doodles were about a small stick figure, and a large one as they looked like they were getting something, a medal of some kind, if this drawing of a large stick figure holding his arms up with a disproportionately large medal around his neck is any indication. I can't stop a bittersweet feeling from swelling in my chest. These are nostalgic, but also sad. It's of a simpler time, but also a time that's long past. I wonder which of the two the owner of this book is. Aside from that, there is nothing else in the room, just a little blip of personality in this otherwise abandoned hospital. Oscar is giving up searching completely and is just leaning back on a chair. The way he rocks back on it, despite the bottom of his legs being submerged in water, is anxiety-inducing, but I've been fooled enough to know his tail is keeping him upright.
Having fun? Did you find anything exciting?
Just a notebook. I don't think it belongs to the hospital, though. I think it belongs to a child.
Probably just a child. One of the nurses but just a kid of one of the nurses or something. Easy to miss one of your kids' notebooks when you pack up.
But most of their other mementos are here too.
Maybe this place isn't as abandoned as we thought. Might be a homeless guy or something. You're stressing yourself over nothing.
He walks over and, without another word, runs his claws through my head fur. He's smoothing them out. Just how frazzled, okay, it has been. Yes, I'm not sure, but his firm touch is a needed reminder that I'm not alone.
Now, let's get out of here. It's clearly messing you up, and while I'm always down to get wet, I'd be in a pool.
He takes a couple steps, and before I even get a chance to follow, he wraps his tail around my waist and pulls me after him. It's a gentle tug, but I have to grab his arm to stop myself from slipping, laughing all the way.
That's more like it. You're much cuter when you smile.
He reaches down and cups the bottom of my chin, running his thumb from my cheek to my jawline, slowly grazing his claw against my skin beneath my fur. It only lasts a second, and he releases me and gives me a tap on the cheek. His own chuckle is deep and husky, like it's filled with different intentions.
God.
Sorry.
As tempting as it is, I'd rather keep this for, when you're out of here. Now you got me motivated.
I didn't do anything.
And you did it without even trying. Maybe you're the real stud between the two of us.
After a wink, he's bouncing down the hallway. He's not even running, but he's able to move much faster than I. He just glides through the air like he's unrestricted. I'm once again reminded of how Oscar elegantly moves next to me. I really need to accept his his invite to swim. He must be a master of swimming. Of water, yes, sorry. I know from a few otters I've met that being on the ground is very much not their element. With less weight on their shoulders, all thanks to this amazingly strange giant of a man in front of me. I trudge after him. My long fur causes my motions through the water to be much slower. Just piggyback. Come on, Oscar can do it. I'm really wishing I wore something warmer. It's even fall. It's going to get cold sometimes. Why didn't I bring something to wear? I know it's just the cold water around my feet causing me to shiver, but it's like the cold is seeping through my body. Oscar looks significantly less affected. He notices me shivering and wraps an arm around my shoulder, pulling me closer against him. Normally, I'd be embarrassed the warmth and normally I'd be embarrassed, but the warmth is too inviting.
If this is all I needed to do to get you to grind up against me, I'd have gotten us kidnapped earlier.
That causes me to look up towards his face, my eyebrows raised, while the bottom of my head and the entirety of his chin is cut off by the large chest. From this angle, I can still see his smile turn sheepish.
Yeah, not sure about that one. I can't hit every time.
Even sheepish, his smile is still infectious, that despite freezing in this awful place, his smile spreads to my face too. Thanks.
Anytime. Just glad you're not looking so sad. It doesn't suit you. Doesn't suit you.
We're still in a halfway hallway. There's no F here. What am I doing? I don't know, guys. I don't know. We're still in a hallway, but it looks like it's about to end. Just a couple feet away in a split, going down 2 hallways. There's one door leading through unknown, but thankfully, the direction has a sign indicating it leads to the emergency room. Out of curiosity, I try out the other door, but it doesn't budge. At least this one only looks locked, unlike some of the other doors that seem completely sealed. The keyhole looks rusted but functional. If the ER doesn't work, then maybe we can find the key to this door, or maybe Oscar could just kick it down. Oscar is already standing at the end of the other hallway, waiting for me, except he isn't looking back at me. He's staring at the floor. I follow after him, but I nearly stumble as the floor takes a small decline. It's clear that Oscar's staring at now. What Oscar's staring at now? It's a stairwell.
That's not right.
What isn't? Oscar's voice still has a light edge, but the confusion is still evident in it, but that's not the most striking thing about him right now. It's his missing smile that's a cause for concern.
If this leads to an emergency room, like all the signs say, there wouldn't be a dip here. They gotta be able to wheel people through in case someone is in real bad shape.
Where does this lead then?
Must lead to the ER. They wouldn't have a sign leading to the wrong place. Unless you want to try the other way. Looks like we're heading down there.
As Oscar takes a step down the stairs, I quickly grab his arm before he can go any further. He only looks back at me with a quirked brow, and his friendly smile returns to his face. Isn't this weird then? Maybe we shouldn't go down there.
You want to go back the way you came?
I can't. It's sealed up by a gate. A grate, sorry.
Then we gotta go this way. Don't worry, man, it'll be fine. If something goes wrong, I'll protect you. I promised I'll save you from your next nightmare.
He holds out his arm for me to grab onto. He's not forcing me to do anything. He's letting me decide to take it, and to take as long as I need. His normally large smile is softer. There's no annoyance in his expression. He lets me decide if I'm willing to go with him. Taking a deep breath, I loop my arm around him. There's something about feeling another person next to me that makes the situation not feel as horrific as it actually is. But when I take a step down, the height difference rears his head again, and my arms are lifted a bit higher. It's nothing uncomfortable, sorry. It just makes me more aware of how small I am in comparison to Oscar. He's a living heater too, which is a plus. I'd be an ice cube without him. Taking a slow s- Taking slow steps, I descend down a group of stairs again. Unlike the first time where the walls had just been wet with moisture, these walls have water running down them in numerous streams, and this time I have someone else. Each step further down, I feel like it's getting colder, and not just the water around our feet, but the entire place. It's hard to think about that as we reach the bottom. Instead of the last couple steps, we're confronted with another pool of water. This one is significantly higher than the previous one. That's really deep. That's going to go to my waist.
Well, I did promise you a swim, didn't I? It's not what I planned, but ta-da!
But I'll freeze. I can't. Hey! Without letting me finish my sentence, Oscar reaches down and effortlessly pulls me off the ground with only a single arm. He twists me around before deciding on holding me in a bridal style, curling me up against his chest as he cradles me in his arms, much to my poor burning face. What are you doing?
Didn't you? I didn't think you wanted to waddle through all this on your feet, you know. So I decided to give you the VIP treatment. Don't forget, costs nothing to stare. Might cost you to touch.
He looks down with a playful smirk before giving a chuckle and pulls me against him a little harder, sinking me into his warm embrace.
It's a joke. Don't be so scared, man. I'm more used to the water than you. It's freaking freezing in here, but that's fine for me.
Thanks. I didn't mean to imply.
That I'm trying to use underhanded tactics to seduce you. Because I am trying to seduce you. I just prefer using more, straightforward tactics.
As if to emphasize his point, he puts me back down on these stairs a couple rows higher than him. Without any hesitation, he pulls his shirt off. Well, pulling it off is a generous word to describe. The slow pace, he slides it off as he grabs it from the bottom, his eyes trained on my own the entire time. Watching the pink fabric of his tank top jolting up as it runs along, each muscle is enough to flare up my face, and I finally break my resolve and look away, ignoring a deep chuckle from the otter.
Hey man, hold on to this for me. Never liked getting my shirt wet.
I barely look back in time to catch it. I have a feeling he wouldn't actually be too upset if I dropped it in the water. He'd just use it as an excuse to be shirtless the rest of this hell-born trip.
If it was my other shirt, not otter shirt, oh my god, other shirt, then I might have just worn it. Could you imagine how that would cling? It's tight enough already. I could do that for you if you want some time.
Is it something shouldn't we be moving on? The others might be searching for us. This isn't the time to be messing around. He flashes me another grin before swiping me up again. Unlike the first time, this feels more intimate, but he doesn't say anything else. If this was any other situation, I can't imagine he'd be this quiet, but even he's showing restraint in these circumstances, even if he isn't taking it as seriously as he should. He steps down into the water. The water is high enough to meet his hips, and without any hesitation, he begins to walk through the corridor. Alright, I'll end the part here, everyone, so I'll see you guys around!